Welcome, folks, to episode 1 of this Let's Play series. We just sort of started off in the episode 0, just going through how the Adeptus Mechanicus actually does function as a faction. We've got some very, very weak infantry units that do pack a punch if they can get the first shot. Now, unfortunately, the neophyte hybrids, and we're just waiting for the different factions to have their first turn. These guys have certainly sort of given us a bit of a blood nose. I don't think that they could kill us. I think if they get close enough to actually be able to kill us, we're going to be able to then do the damage. It's only really if they bring in somebody else. Now, okay, it's our turn now. I'm going to have to move back because I just can't contend with that. So back you go, back home. We're going to be sitting at home for a long period of time. What I want to do is just move in, see what's around. Okay, we can't do anything. I'm just going to explore what I can. Without exposing my units too much. Now, at the moment, I'm not going to try to heal this one up where it is. I'm just going to leave it where that is there. We'll just skip the turn, or just end the turn here. Nothing else for us to do. We're going to be expanding the tile. Now, what I could have done, actually I should have shown this in the last episode. All right, sorry, there's just a phone call that came in. So we've just taken over this area. Now, why would I bother? If I click on this thing, I've got 2 other slots in here. Like if I actually have a look at this one, I've got 2 more building slots. So why didn't I just build straight away over here? Or why didn't I move to here and then build my Librarium Omnis back in through there? And what you'll see is, look at the traits. It says monolithic buildings. Increases the resource output of non-headquarters buildings of the same type on a tile. Decreases the output of non-headquarters buildings of different types on a tile. And so what you need to do is you need to actually have these buildings have to be kept separate away from the other buildings. And so you need every single tile has to specialize. This is the one that we actually have with 20% research. In we go, and we're going to build that one in through here. So I'm going to go and now build the Librarium Omnis on this location, and the only thing I can really build here is other buildings that don't actually have any problem to do with with this monolithic building. So that means that I can only really build libraries. There are a few other buildings that we get later on, but all of these have got monolithic buildings, as you sort of see in through here. Every single one of them. And so it's, we have to manage that in a special way. And so I'm just going to go and build. The first one is going to be, as I say, that Librarium Omnis, and that's going to be sort of built in through there. 4 turns for that one to be built. And I've then got to start to sort of think, okay, well, what else do I need? Now, I'm going to have to be very, very careful of what we actually have through here with our different resources. And the most important one initially for me is going to be ore. Even though I've got the most coming in, that's going to be really, really important. Now, I could have actually stopped this and not bothered about the research and gone with ore. I could have actually built like an ore mine somewhere, a specialist ore mine. But I think I want to get the research just so I can get to the Castellan robots relatively quickly. Okay, ordering units back in through here. Now this one here, I can start to heal this one up. It says 8 of 10, but if I hover over that, you'll see it's 7.1. Essentially, it always just rounds up to the next number. So 7.1 out of 10 hit points. Now, if I heal up in through here, it will heal up 10% of its units, which 10% of its hit points, which essentially is one point per turn. If I go into the city itself, back in through here, it will actually heal up much faster. So if I hover over that one, for example, it holds position until fully healed. If I just move across, because it's taken a bit of damage and it's going to be there for a few rounds, I'll just move it in. It almost would have been okay the way that one was. Now this one will then, we'll get a little bit more food back in through here, which is good. And there's a shard of Vol. Now this could be interesting. There's actually a ruin of Vol. We can pick up special things from here, and in one of my test areas, I actually did pick up my own, Vol sentries, which are really cool floating robots that sort of do like warp damage. And so I'm hoping that I can pick up another one of those, to be honest. That would be pretty damn cool. Okay, so we're just going to, I can attack this, but I don't want to be going after the webway gates until it's safe to do so. I want to keep my reaction fire up. So we'll end our turn. I'll probably just pause through the enemy turns. It's going to take some time. Now, as we get towards the end of the actual amount, we'll then sort of see that this guy will then be healed up a certain amount. There we go, we're picking up some resources in there, and oh, that one hasn't healed up yet. So I'm going to go and tell this one to heal up. Now, inside this location, it's going to heal up at plus 100% here, the healing rate. So it doubles the healing rate by being inside the city surrounds. So I'm just going to do that. If I was inside one of these outposts, in fact I am over here, this one only has plus 50% of the healing rate. So you can sort of see there, it's more beneficial for me to be around the city for these sort of healing. So in we go, heal that one up. Now this one here, I do want to take this shard. I am worried about it because I'm now moving into an area where there could be a unit that could kill it. But I sort of want to just see what I pick up here. Yeah, damn it. Okay, actually they don't react, but they can do a lot of damage back. We only picked up ore, unfortunately. We didn't pick up anything too great. But it certainly will help us a little bit in through here. I can wipe them out straight away. I will do that, because these actually have a special ability, these Crude Hounds. They will probably attack me and wipe me out, I would guess. So if we have a look at this guy, these have got, they've got 14 hit points. You saw that we did massive damage through there with the actual attack that we did. They have 7 attack. So they have 2 attacks times 7, so 14 damage, which is more than enough to kill us. It'd be touch and go whether we can sort of keep anything back after this. I mean, we do have the protection of being inside the outpost, which gives us another 17% city damage reduction and 17% range damage reduction. So if we hover over here, we then sort of see the different sorts of reduction we actually have. So maybe that's enough. It sort of takes our armor up to an equivalent of like an armor 6, I would guess, 6 or 7, somewhere in around there, which is fairly good. For this guy in through here, he does actually have also an infiltration ability, which means that it doesn't get targeted with the Overwatch. It also only has a melee, so that's why it couldn't react against my unit. So that was the perfect unit to end up next to. I'm just worried about this unit coming in and attacking this particular unit. At least we're not out in the open. We do actually have that extra protection. Now, we have a protection. Some of that protection won't actually work. Anything that's got range damage reduction won't actually do anything there. It's only the city damage reduction that we'll actually end up having. So we'll get a few there. So we have the armor damage reduction, the invulnerable damage reduction, and the city damage reduction. So yeah, around about maybe sort of maybe sort of like a armor 6 equivalent. Now they don't actually have any armor penetration. Yeah, so we may be okay there because we're actually in that location. So that one should work in our favour, I hope. Anyway, we'll end our turn here, and we'll just sort of watch what actually does go on. It will be interesting to see what happens here. And this one should almost heal up almost everything. It should be up around about 9 by the time we finish this. But I will, just because they're so squishy, here we go. Now, are you going to wipe us out completely? No, because of that reduction, we've been okay. Now, we can do a lot of damage here. This Sinunan we have to be a little bit concerned about. Sorry about that, I'm just being interrupted a few times today. My wife's just got back home. Okay, so we can get rid of most of them. The Sinunan I don't think will attack. They tend not to attack unless you attack them. I have to be careful here, but there's nothing else that I can see around it, so I think I'm relatively safe to get rid of 5 of the 6 casualties. If I just press the shift key, I can then go across and talk about what we're going to see through here. So what we have is we have an attack against the Crude Hounds. This is their abilities, but then you'll see this last one. This is the Rad Saturation. So it deals damage each turn. So when it's next to us, we do damage to it no matter what because of the radiation coming out of our actual unit. And so it's 1 damage, 3 attacks, armor penetration 0, accuracy 12, range 1, and the traits are as it ignores cover, so wouldn't matter where they are, they're going to be taking some extra damage. Now when we do this attack coming back in as well, you can see we do the 9 damage with this particular carbine. We've got 3 attacks times the 3 units that are left in the actual unit itself at 1 damage each. So we do a lot of damage initially. This then gets rid of 5 of the 6 units. Now the reason that they lost a few units is because they started right next to us, so they were right next to us, and so the radiation got rid of some of their units. So I'm just going to go and basically do this because with only 1 of their guys left, we'll survive the next hit. So let's just do it. It's only if these guys or someone else wanders in that we're going to have any sort of trouble. So we do the damage there. that was a 9 damage gone. By the way, even though it says it's guessing, that's the estimate of what that damage is going to be, it's 100% accurate. So if it says that a certain unit's going to die, you can count on that they will actually die. I don't think I've ever seen it go any other way, so that should be fine. Now we're going to be wanting to, if this one won't stay around, I think it'll die anyway, simply because of the radiation coming off our unit, which again is one of the unique little things that we actually have. Let's just end our turn here. It's only really if that Sinunan comes back in, and then we should have this one at 100% after this. So he's done a lot of good damage up here. Yep, they've wandered off. Got more of these neophyte hybrids. Okay, this one's back up to full strength. I'm going to now bring this one back, but I'm going to go back the safe way. So let's just move it back in around here, and I will move it back to the city where it can double up its various defences. We're going to skip that unit now, and we're going to skip this unit as well. There's no point really taking it up there. It's going to be too damaging, for the simple reason actually that these guys do actually have, when we look at this, the rapid fire doubles the attacks at half range. They've got a range of 2, which means that if I move to here, they shoot me anyway, and I don't get to do anything about it. If they move to here, they still get to shoot me. So I don't have a real lot that I can actually do there. The difference is if they do move to there, my Adeptus Mechanicus city back in through here does have a range 2 heavy stubber, but it also then has a Gatling rocket launcher at range 3. And so it will do some damage to that particular unit if they move to that location. So I'm relatively safe to just stay here. They won't come in too close, because then we have the first attack and we would wipe them out completely. So we'll just order the units. So again, there's no rush with us expanding. We don't need to be rushing off all over the place, because our units are just way too weak for that. Order units. Okay, so the this one here, skip that unit as well, and end our turn. Now we almost have to try to invite them in, units in, so that they actually come and try to attack us, except for things like the Crude Hounds, which of course get underneath they don't trigger the Overwatch. But we want to trigger the Overwatch as much as possible. There's some movement down this way, more of these hybrids. These are awkward for us in this early part of the game with what we actually have. Now we've just done the research on the Manufactorum Cybernetica, so we can start to build that at some point. Again, these guys, I just need to move them back across. That's a bit of a problem. Let's just go and move that one in. Again, we're sort of now in amongst here. Now, if we have a look at this one, this is, even though it's sort of technically in the city as such, I could actually make it form part of the city. It's sort of connected, but it's not part of the city just yet. And so we're only getting our outpost abilities. That's why I've moved that one out. Just in case it does move in, I'll at least be able to then finish it off with this unit and leave this one to then come back across and get the healing. So order the cities back and through this side. Now, I can't really build on top here. I could do it for expediency, but I then start to lose about 5% of the production of my research and any other building that I build there right now. So what I want to do is, I'm thinking I've got 2 choices here in reality. If I want to go with the Manufactorum Cybernetica. I can't build it here because it's going to then interfere with my capital city type stuff. So I need to build this somewhere very, very particular. Now, it does get a food out bonus, and it gets an ore out bonus and an influence bonus. So if we have a bit of a look at this, if we just go Control Z, where do we have those bonuses? We've got a 20% ore there, which is probably the best for that one there. But I'm thinking, do I need that? I've got 92. I've picked up the extra ore that was up there. That's going to keep me going for a little bit longer. So what I think I might do is I might actually build this one first and then get an ore mine down in here somewhere. So we'll start to sort of get like a specialised ore area back in through this particular region. We've still got +8 food, which is actually good going at this early stage of the game. We've picked up a couple of food areas back out through here. So I think that we'll go this way and actually build ourselves this Manufactorum. So that way we get even a bit of a bonus on the ore that it's going to then be producing. So we'll just go Control Z And so to do that, we then need to acquire the tile first. You can see we can acquire this tile as well at some point, but we'll acquire that tile. And at least we've now got the fast research speeds. So we'll go and grab that one. And then what we'll do is choose research. So I need to get 2 in each tier before I can go to the next tier. And I want to very quickly go from tier 1 to tier 2 to Castellan robots, and also the Proto-Servitor Cradle is another one that I do need to get with the increased loyalty. I want to get the Sub-Cloister as quickly as possible as well. So really the things that I've got through here, the Bulwark Imperative increases the armor but decreases the movement of Doctrina Imperatives units. Now, I'm not going to be able to use this in the early part of the game, so I'm not going to really worry about that one. The costs do scale up. I mean, it would half be useful. Enhanced Data Tether. This has increased the morale of the Skitarii Vanguards. I know that the AI grabs this one. I don't really put much stock in that, to be honest. I think it gives you a little bit of a bonus to what you actually get to do because you've got the enhanced morale. The Serbi Sulphur Hounds. If I do go for the infantry at some point, I'm going to want these guys. So I'm thinking that that's probably my go-to one right now. So let's just do that. It's only 3 turns to get that. Just click on OK. That will then get me across into here. So I don't actually have an ability yet to get the infantry, but we'll set it up so we actually do have that ability at some point. Exit the city. End turn. Now, what are these guys going to do? Are they going to come in close? If they even come into there and get the ranged attack, we're going to have a shot from the city first. So the city is in a good position there in terms of just protecting the units. Now it's going back that way. So we're sort of a bit stuck with that one because we can't afford to go near it unless we sort of move out to, say, here and then have another one move up at some other point. So let's just go and skip that one, end our turn again. It's a very slow progression playing as the Adeptus Mechanicus in this early part of the game. You really need to be very, very patient. Probably more so than any other faction that I can think of in the game. It really is like that until we sort of get things. Now we've just got this one through here. I've still got a heap of ore, and this is actually, and even my energy is actually okay at the moment. When I get the next building, the energy is going to become a problem, so I may need to go and get myself. I've got 3 other slots available for specialization at this point in time, so I could have energy or possibly food. You know, like as the specialties in around this particular location. Food is positive though. Food is actually doing pretty well here, I've got to say. Actually, I'm going to need to get the Tech Priest building as well into one of these slots. So they're all pretty much the same. All of those. That one's these have got negative with food. That one there has only got 10% negative with food, but they're only 20% with ore. All right. So what we'll do in through here. So maybe we go that way for the other one, reserve that, and then we go energy and ore back in through here. What we'll do is we'll just go back across. We're going to this unit here. We're going to set this one up now for healing. That one we're just going to keep that one where that is as well. Just skip it and order the cities. And so into here, we will now go and add the Manufactorum, which is going to cost me 50. So nearly half of my ore is going to be gone just in building this particular unit. We then have 2 upkeep in energy, and that's going to then drain all my energy. So, yeah, we'll still do it. We get extra food there as well. Let's just go and grab that one. And we do get extra ore from here. It's only energy. So maybe we come back after this one, get an energy building, get an ore building. Yeah, we've got a lot to do, and it's again every time I do this, it's costing me another 2 or 3 turns just to get the expansion. So it's a very slow progress with the actual cities themselves, but interesting, and it is worth it in the long haul. So that's it's one of those things really that we just have to bite the bullet and just know that our progression is going to be very, very slow in the early part. But we'll get the Castellan robots before we know it, and then we'll sort of be able to expand. Well, even once we get this next building set up, we'll be able to start expanding. So we've got the Sulphur Hounds. We can now go across to the next phase. So we'll just go and we'll skip that unit and just choose the research. So we don't want to be caught back in anywhere through here. We want to really be going across the Sub-Cloister now. And And if we have a bit of a look at this now, the Scorpius Dune Rider, I don't think we want that one. Yeah, we probably don't really want that one early. I do want these two, and I do want this one. So, but I want the subcloister next. Or probably not next in building sense. I need to get my basic, you know, on top of the energy and things like this. So we'll end our turn there. There we go. The population. Actually, the other thing we're going to need to do is get the population areas as well. So that's up through here. Increase the population limit is something we're going to need to also focus on. But it's slow building these cities, so we don't have to rush that. Just got to carefully do the careful architecture to make sure that we specialise in many different ways. It's going to be 5 turns before we can get this building, and there's really no point in really moving off unless we can find a way of doing it safely. And maybe down through here, maybe in through this side, there's another area down there that we could have a look at to see if we could take that. This one's still not ready yet, so we'll just skip that unit. We'll end our turn again. Now, when we get the first of the actual mech units, that's the mech unit that we have is a long-range, very, very useful light mech unit that can actually fire at range 3. And so that having a few of those around can actually really help a lot with just weakening the enemy forces. Again, we don't have anything we need to really do here. We'll just let them sort of wander around and do whatever they're going to do. We'll just stay where we are and end our turn. At least, actually, I probably should start to move off and try to expand where I can, where I've got opportunities. But I would almost prefer to wait until I've actually got one of these other walker units. Or even 2 of them. I don't want to be losing these units. Okay, well, let's start moving down towards the this location here. There we go. We've got more of them here. So we're still outside the range. Yeah, that's still outside the range even there. So let's just go and position that one there. See if we can draw it in. Now we no longer have the protection here. Oh, damn it. Now that's not good. Okay, we'll end our turn. If they both come in, we're in trouble. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait. These are just way too weak. So we'll need to go back again. Now, we do have an opportunity here, in one sense. Subcloister. Yep, so we've now got the subcloister researched. I want to take that one back. I could, if I wanted to, have this one go up to that location and kill that one off. Almost, it should be able to kill it off pretty much. But I don't know what else is here, and it's just too risky. So I'm going to move back, just back into here. So we'll choose more research in through here. So the next one we want to get probably is get this one here, this particular hero. So we'll start sort of bringing the heroes out fairly soon. So we're not. If I had have got the infantry building, I could have been building infantry by now and actually have maybe 4 or 5 units of infantry, which is certainly a viable strategy. But then we need to be focusing very heavily on food. There's another crew town that's now come back. I might bring that one back this way. Yeah, we've got 0 energy now, so the energy is now a bit of a problem. Now the order of the cities in through here. I can now get myself an Ironstrider Belisarius. Now this is going to it's going to cost me just ore, 30 ore to bring this one in, but we've got good ore at the moment. I also now need to go and get myself energy, because I can't afford to run out of energy. So I'm going to now go and build that. It doesn't matter where I build this. I'll build this one in here. So I'll exit the city and end our turn. Again, it's just slow going because I can't make use of the of what we can build. Ultimately, we can end up with a very, very strong city, but it's going to take a long time. It's going to be mid-game at the earliest that we actually get that. They've gone straight in. We want to get that one back. I'll just stay back there and just get the protections of this, and then we'll move up and kill that one off, or do a lot of damage anyway. Just end our turn if it does stay there. And if not, we'll take it anyway. So it's slow at this early start of the game, but again, if you are a bit of a veteran of the game, you're going to enjoy the challenge that it does present you. Now, I can't move into there. I can move to there, which I will do. I can now pretty much kill that one off. There we go, that's good. All right, I've now got this one, Order Cities. So we've still got 3 turns before we can actually get this Ballistarius. What we now want to do in here is make sure that we get on top of our energy. I've got to be very careful I don't run out of any of this stuff. So even though I would love to get one of those cloisters, the sub-cloister would be awesome. It's going to start to drain off the energy. So let's just look after the energy to start with. So I'll build that one. That'll be there in 4 turns. And then after that, what I might do is I might just go and queue that one over here, just so we can start to then build the sub-cloister back over that side. So there's no screaming urgency to to build things on top of each other at this stage. It will pay dividends later on. Well, we're nearly through episode 1, and as you can see, not a real lot has happened, but that's the way we have to play this. Now we've got this one here. Okay, now we actually go and we get more research. So we're just going to skip this unit. This one is now ready to go. We've got more of those hybrids, and we've still got another couple of turns before this one comes. Let's just wait for that one. Reclaim this again, just so we can get more of the research. I just want to keep on top of the research if I can. And then we'll choose the research itself. So we can now get the Castellan robots. I can get this one as well because we're going to get close to... it would be good to get this as well. I'm going to go Castellans though. Let's just go that way. Then we might come back to improve. You can see we're at 4 of 6 population now in the city itself. So managing the city is much more difficult playing as the Adeptus Mechanicus than pretty much any other faction, I think. It's just because it's got a lot of benefits later on, but just not in the early part of the game. Okay, this one here. Now, what I might do is I know that there's a few of those hybrids floating around up there. I've still got one more turn there. I might just wait. Just move it over 1. There they are. And I don't want to move up, so I'm just going to keep that one back there as well. End turn. Until we can get the Castellan robots, we're not going to be able to really move out much anyway. And we probably need to get one of the Tech Priest Engineers as well to start to move with the forces. There they come. Now, is this the turn? Yes, here it is. So what this one has got, let's have a look at this particular unit. This one's got good armor at 7. 16 hit points is good as well. In fact, let's just zoom right in so we can actually have a look at the sky in all its glory. There it is, sitting on the back of its walker. So it's got this sort of like mechanical walker with the big guns at the front. The guns are twin-linked Cognus autocannons. Damage 4, 2 attacks, so they sort of have 2 attacks from the twin barrels. Armor penetration of only 2, so not very strong in armor penetration. The accuracy is higher than the other units though at 83%, but the range is the big thing, range 3. So we go from a range 1 sort of force to now actually having some units that can now do a range 3. And the traits are, it's Cognus limits the accuracy loss. So it's almost like a thinking gun. It's an assault classification gun, and it's 2 times twin linked, so increases the accuracy. So the twin guns is where we get the increased accuracy from. And having a look at what we actually have through here, this is bionic, so we have the same invulnerable damage reduction. This is a Doctrina Imperatives unit. It's a Ironstrider, increases the movement. It's a open-topped classification. This can be a negative depending on the sorts of attacks that come in. Some attacks are good against open-top units. It's a vehicle, so negates the penalty for heavy and ordnance weapons, increases the movement penalty in forests and imperial ruins. So it's not designed for going through forest or ruins, and it's a walker. So reduce, yeah, so that's, hang on, this one increases the movement penalty in forest and imperial ruins, but the walker actually reduces the movement penalty in forest and ruins. So the walker can actually make its way through the ruins and forest fairly effectively, and at this stage we're in the city. So let's go out and hit this thing. Now, if I go to there, it will get a shot at me. If I go to here, there's no reduction in the range. So what I might as well do is just come back across to this location and then shoot it from distance. We only get rid of one of the 6. We're not going to chase it yet. We're going to let it run off, and then we'll start to now chase it once we do all this. So let's just skip that unit for now, and skip this unit for now. Order cities. What I want to do is I want to get another one of these units pretty much straight away. It's going to cost me 30. I've got 102 left. I've still got good income here. So let's go and grab a second one of those. We are going to need those. Now, I'm actually out of time, guys, so I'm just going to exit the city, and I think we'll leave it here. So we're now starting to get our force ready to expand in and just claim what's in close. So we'll sort of move a little bit out into the middle of the map, a little bit to the south, try to claim these areas. We're still not seeing any flags flying back over through here, so we've still got some opportunities to go and grab things from back down this side. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in episode 2.